saved me so many times, Doreen. I have no idea how to repay you. So yeah, yeah, they play these games, and these games have got a glitch built into them. And if you know, it's like one of those things that goes around. If you know what that glitch is, you can find it and you can kind of hide there, and you can kill the other armies without getting killed yourself. It's like a secret place you can get to. And I think self-hypnosis is nature's kind of glitch. If you know how to do it, you can use it to lift you and give you that edge. And it's a natural thing. We all go into trance anyway, but be able to tap into that power. I've been listening to a book. I don't even know how I heard about it, but I keep listening to the same chapter. It's on Audible, and it's called Think and Grow Rich. And someone must have recommended it, and I got it on Audible. And when I'm listening to it, he's talking about just coming out of the depression and about how their president is just about to build this dam. And I'm thinking, well, that's the Hoover Dam, and that's the Great Depression. So I thought I'd have a look and see when this book was written. And it turns out it was written in 1937. And what he's really talking about when he's talking about Think and Grow Rich, he's talking about auto-suggestion, which we would call, well, I suppose now you call it law of attraction and manifesting, but also self-hypnosis. So I've listened to this chapter 3 over and over. I haven't listened to the rest of the book. I'm really poor at reading books and listening to books. But in that chapter, he talks about faith. And when I think about faith, it's all kind of religious linked, and I'm not a religious person at all. But I think for me, belief and faith are pretty much the same thing. You know, believing in something that's not actually happening right now, something you can't see, it's not tangible. I think that's what faith is as well. But he talks about in that book, and bear in mind it's 1937, and some of you have been on my trainings and on my sessions now for some time. You'll hear me talk about my thinking on how we influence or how we can get people into hypnosis through the power of a positive emotion. I normally use the power of love. Think about the people you love, see those faces, feel that love. But whatever led me to this book, as I said, it happens now and again. In that book, he says, when faith is linked to the most powerful emotions, and in that, he says the two most powerful emotions are love and sex. They're the biggest kind of drivers for us. When you link faith and belief to those powerful emotions, your brain does something which kind of soaks up what's going on at that point in time and makes it happen for you. But belief and persistence really is believing, because we can all dream about having our body in a certain way. We can believe, you know, we can imagine an outcome, but believing it 100% is a different thing, because most of us have tried, haven't we? We've worked at things and we've fallen off the wagon, and then we've had a wagon wheel. None of you will know what a wagon wheel is, because it's a very long time ago in England when we used to eat wagon wheels. But, you know, we'd have a chocolate biscuit of some kind, and we think, well, we're rubbish at this. And then we'll go back to it 6 months, have another go. And we keep doing that over and over. I think that changing our bodies, because that's really what the rope workout club's about, as much as anything else. I also think I want this rope workout. If you've got my little book, then you'll know there's 10 audios with it, and they're on motivation and rejuvenation and unconditional self-love, all those things that we talk about in these groups. But really, when people will pick that book up, it really looks like a book to get fit, which is what it is. So I don't think that changing our bodies is that difficult, personally. It takes some work, but it's not a horrendous amount of work. But what it is about being consistent. It's about doing something maybe every other day or every day. But I think when we think about going to the gym and got to spend an hour in the gym, we've got to go there and we've got to drive there and we've got to get changed and we've got to do all that stuff, it turns into like a 2-hour every day. That's why I've created the Rope Workout Club, because I believe that in 10 or 15 minutes a day, and you can do it at home, you can change your body and change your mind. So it's just about keeping going at it. But belief is the major thing, not just when it comes to creating our body, but creating our business and creating, you know, the happiness we want, or the love we want, or any of those things in life. We have to believe that we can do it. We have to believe that we are worthy of doing it. That's why I keep saying about unconditional self-love in these groups. For me, it's the bottom line. Why would you treat yourself to the body you want if you don't love yourself? Why would you eat properly and feed your body with nutritious food if you don't love yourself? So it is always going to be the bottom line in all of these sessions for me. And if we can tap into that ourselves and feel into that feeling, and then do what in this book he calls auto-suggestion, which is, come on, help me out here. What happens when we repeat something to ourselves? What do we call those things?
Affirmations.
Affirmations, that's it. Thanks, Doreen. Yeah.
Or mantra.
So, you know, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about auto-suggestion. Continue to say something to ourselves over and over and over until our brain accepts it as a fact, as truth. And then it just carries it out. So tonight's going to be about showing you how to get into that space where we can get our conscious mind out of the way for a while. Because the conscious mind is the part that thinks it is us, but in reality is the least dependable part of our being. The conscious mind is very limited. It can hold 7 plus or 2 minus things at the same time. Most of you will remember your mobile number in chunks of 3, because there's probably 9 or 10 letters, numbers there, and you can't remember all in one hit. So we chunk it down, 0751 972 3106. There you are. You've got my phone number if you're quick enough. But it's in 3 chunks. To try and remember all those numbers in one hit, I wouldn't be able to do it, because the conscious mind's not capable of it. And yet it believes it is us. Our conscious mind is continually making excuses for why we behave the way we behave, because it doesn't want us to feel bad. Doesn't want us to be embarrassed. So it continues to make things up. We have to be aware of that. Your unconscious mind, while your conscious mind is wondering what shirt to put on, your unconscious mind is taking care of your heartbeat, your blood pressure. It's scanning the environment and it might hurt you. Your blood pressure, all of those things. It's doing that from the moment you draw breath to the moment you have your last breath. And when your conscious mind sleeps, when you go to bed at night and your conscious mind sleeps, your unconscious mind never sleeps. It's a bit like me. It's your unconscious mind that hear the creak on the stairs in the night that shouldn't be there while you're fast asleep. It's your unconscious mind that will smell smoke in the house that shouldn't be there when you're fast asleep. It never switches off. And this is just a Freddy theory for what it's worth. I believe your unconscious mind's only ever trying to do 2 things for you. It's got a very small remit. It's trying to give you pleasure, or it's trying to protect you. You could look at all of your behaviors, the one that you don't like about yourselves. And you could ask that question, what is this about? And the chances are, if it's not about pleasure, it'll be about protection or survival. There are 2 major drivers, pleasure and protection. If you want to go back to our beginnings, to our animal selves, it's about procreation and survival. And they're still our biggest drivers. It's probably the reason that society is so messed up, because our drivers are the same and society's changed. So generally we're fighting our instincts most of our lives, trying to behave in a certain way when our instincts are crying out to do something else. But that's it. If you're doing this work as therapists and your client comes in, no matter what that client comes into your therapy room with, just ask the question in your own mind, is this about pleasure? Because if it's not about pleasure, it's probably about protection. And most of it is, isn't it? Most of it is, if you think about your clients, it's anxiety, it's blushing, it's confidence, it's fear, it's phobias. Most of the work we do is like that. Even when you come down to things like smoking, where people are afraid. They're afraid to quit because they think they're going to put on weight. They're afraid to quit because they think they're going to be angry with people. They're afraid to quit because I think they're going to suffer in some way. But your unconscious mind is a superpower. And it will get for you everything you're focused on. Because it wants you to be happy. It truly does. It wants you to be the best you can be. But it's ancient. It's pretty much the same as it was 4 million years ago. Negatives only exist in language. They do not exist in any other form in the universe. In the universe, things exist. Only in language do things not exist. It only makes sense for me to say it's not a cat sitting on your desk, unless there is a cat sitting on your desk, which would make me incredibly woo-woo. But it only makes sense for me to say it's not a cat sitting on your desk. So that makes sense in language to say there's not something sitting there. Your unconscious mind, as I said, it wants you to have everything. It'll get for you everything you're focused on. Because negatives only exist in language, it's only been the last 150 to 200,000 years that we've had this part of our brain that has the Broca's area, that has the ability to speak and understand in language. And in a whole 85 million years of our evolution, it's a small period of time, we've had that part of our brain. And because negatives only exist in language, hey, look, a cat coming behind you now, Stacey. He's heard me, going to sit on the desk. I said there wasn't a cat sitting there, now there is. And because the unconscious mind, it cannot process the negative. So I say to you, don't think about the person you love most on this planet. Don't think about their smile. What happens? You have to think about that person. And that works brilliantly in sales. If you're writing a blog or you're writing a piece to get your clients in, the best way to get them thinking about their outcome is to put in your marketing, don't think how good you're going to feel when you've quit smoking with me. Don't think how good you're going to be when you get on that plane, free of that fear. You can't resist thinking about it. Most of your clients and probably yourselves, when you're thinking about what your future, you're generally thinking about the things you don't want to be anymore. Most of my clients come in, I say, how can I help? And they say, I don't want to smoke anymore. I don't want to be overweight. I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to have a shitty relationship. They'll tell me half a dozen things they don't want. And I say to them, now tell me what you do want. Because all the time you're thinking, I don't want to put on weight. Guess what happens? All the time you're thinking, I don't want to be unhappy. What happens? There's quite a lot of you, quite a lot of females here tonight. How many of you have got a friend that's gone from one violent relationship to another? Yeah. And people say, well, she must like getting hit. That's absolute shite. Of course they don't like getting hit. But if you've been in a violent relationship and it ends, and then you get over that and you get yourself together, and your friends say, come out to the club with me, come out to the pub with me. When you walk into that pub, you're going, I really don't want another man that beats me. I really don't want another horrible relationship. And guess what? Out of 400 men in that nightclub, you'll find that one person. Because your brain's, that's all your brain's doing. You have to state what you want. I want a man in my life that's generous and kind, great in bed, earns tons of money, looks like, I don't know, Brad Pitt. You have to state what you want. And then your unconscious mind will go out and get it for you. If you hear yourself, and you're going to hear it after we've spoken today, you're going to hear yourself saying, I don't want to feel like this anymore. You immediately change it to how you do want to feel. It's one of the biggest things. We do it to our kids all the time. Don't be naughty. Don't beat your brother up. Don't play out in the road. We look out the window, there he is. You think, a defiant little sod. No. The don't just doesn't go in. You've got to tell him what you want. Stay in the garden. Be nice to your brother. Be kind. It's so easy to say, don't touch that. Don't do that. You know, the worst thing anyone can say to me is, Freddie, don't do it. I think I wasn't even thinking about it before. Now I've got to do it. It's my nature. So when we're talking to ourselves, it sounds like we're all mad, but we are. When you're talking to yourself, remember that rule. When you're working with your clients, there is the negative command, if you know how to use it. And it's simple, isn't it? Don't think how good it's going to be when we've had this time together today and you walk out that door and the need for a cigarette's gone. Don't think how good it's going to be 6 months from now when you're 8.5 stone and you're looking and feeling great. Because then you'll focus on what you want. One second, let me just...
Yes. Some people on the telephone, they can't be muted. So
again, they can't be muted.
yeah, because they're on a phone. I think it's Paula and Nina.
Oh, they're on the phone. Yeah, it's just if your sound's on, switch it off. Only for your own sakes, because you know when you sneeze or cough, you'll be on the screen. Any strange noises, you'll be on the screen. It's just the way it is on this view. So just for your own sakes. And if you do want to speak, then just switch your mic back on if you want to ask me any questions. So I want you to think about that as you're going about your week. Focus on what you do want. If you have the time, so if you're doing something like maybe you're doing your makeup or maybe you're doing your workout, I would like you to write down what you want, how you want to be. And it doesn't have to just be your physical goals. How you want to be, what your finances. If you could picture how you want your bank balance to look and hold that thought in your mind, make a decision to commit to making it happen. Every one of you on this call is of above intelligence. That's why you're here, obviously. People who haven't got your intelligence didn't turn up. So it's simple for me. It's an easy call. Of course, you're more intelligent than everybody else out there. Let me just switch this off. Right. And so write down 3 or 4 things you want. And no one else has to see it, your dreams, where you want to be. But then you have to make a commitment. You know, I've been saying it, haven't I? I keep saying it. You're probably sick of me saying it, but Sandra Grace's question: what has to happen for you to love yourself enough? What has to happen for you to love yourself enough? Treat yourself to the body you want, the life you want, the health you want. A second question: if you are not living that life now, if not, why not? You have the answer to that. You know why you're not. If you're not living that life you want, if you haven't got, if you're not creating the body that you want and the health you want, you'll have an answer to that. And my three questions: what do you want? What do you actually want? And I want you to, after this today, you could do it while we're doing this today. At some point today, you're going to think about what you really, really want. Think about it. What do you want? Then ask the next question: how badly do I want that? How badly do you want it? And the third question, which is the big one: what are you willing to do to make it happen? What are you willing to do to make it happen? If you answer those questions and then make a decision to commit and to be persistent, don't let anything move you off that target. Some of you might already be doing that. I know we've got people here that are super successful. I know Bernard's successful. You know, I've met Bernard, and he's a you know, lovely man. But I know that when he sets his mind on something, I'm sure he sees it through. He's just that kind of man. And being persistent about it. No, it's just single-minded. As I said to you last time, I've known some world champions. I mean, world champions, people who are best at what they do in the world, on a planet of 8 billion people. And they are the best at what they do. It's an incredible feat. But they have been committed since they were kids, most of them. They decide they want to be a champion boxer at 10 years old. And they're just, or a world-class motorcyclist, gymnast, you name it. I've known people who are multi-millionaires, but they've been single-minded on just gathering as much money as possible. Not always the most pleasant of people, because some of them are pretty tight. Even though they've got millions, they're still pretty tight. They just can't help themselves. They've been doing it for so long. But, you know, that's their focus, and that's okay. It's the same for all of us here. We don't have to be that extreme. But we also don't have to live a life that's not serving us anymore, or it's not our truth. We can say, this I want, and this I'm going to get it. I'm going to show you to do that tonight when we do get into hypnosis. And it's not hard to learn to do this. You can go and do 4-day courses. I've got a friend. He was pretty horrible to me online once about something, but anyway, he's got a PhD in self-hypnosis. He's a doctor of self-hypnosis. Took him 4 years, 5 years to do that course. And I'm going to show you tonight how to do it. And I haven't got a PhD. And you won't need one either, because you're going to be able to do this from tonight. Tap into it. So you can tap into all of your inner powers. We've all heard of it, haven't we? That I'm sure you have anyway. It's a story years ago, and some of you might be too young to have heard it, where there was a car crash or there was an accident, and this kid was trapped under this car. And while all these men were around panicking, this woman came past, and she went into panic. And seeing this kid under this car, she lifted the car up while they pulled this kid out. If you'd asked her to do it a minute earlier or a minute later, she wouldn't be able to do it. In fact, if she'd thought about it all, she wouldn't be able to do it. Some years ago, I was driving to go and see my brother, and driving through the countryside. And as we were driving down the road, there's all this smoke coming out of the trees. And I thought it was a guy cutting the trees with you know, a petrol chainsaw or something. But when we went past, we realized there was a van that had gone off the road and it was on his side. And it got into the trees and the engine was still running. So it was the exhaust that we could see on the road. So I stopped and we waved a few people down to slow people down. And the guy who was in the truck was unconscious. And he was about, I would say, 17, 18 stone. He was quite a big man. He was unconscious and the van was on its side and the doors were crumpled in. And a guy stopped with his girlfriend. And his girlfriend went round the other side of the car and the petrol was dripping on, it was summer, and it was dripping on the leaves. And the petrol had caught light. So the van now had a fire underneath it with this guy in the seat well. And no way of getting him out. And I thought I was going to watch this man cook. By now, there was maybe 4 or 5 of us around this van, but this guy whose girlfriend saw the fire first. The windscreen had come out of this van. I promise you, this actually happened because I saw it. He reached in through that window with one hand and he pulled that man out of that car with one hand. The guy must have weighed close to 20 stone. He reached in, grabbed him and pulled him out the window. I've never seen anything like it in my life. It took 5 men to carry that guy across the road away from the van. And this guy pulled him out with one hand. You asked him afterwards how he did it. He had no idea. That is the strength we're talking about being able to tap into in self-hypnosis. When your conscious mind is out of the way. Because it's your conscious mind, as mine was, that looked at that guy and said, there's no way you can lift him. And as soon as my mind says there's no way you can lift him, there was no way I could lift him. This guy didn't think. He just did it. And that's what we're talking. The strengths you have within you, the abilities you have within you are immense. They truly are. But we don't believe. I'm saying to you, even if at first it's a struggle to believe, I'm saying just keep believing. Even if people are laughing at it, saying you're never going to do it, you've got to keep believing. Faith combined with love or any other strong, powerful emotion enables us to reach beyond what we can do. It creates something beyond the physical. I've seen it. So I'm going to take you into hypnosis. And at some point, I'm going to give you a post-hypnotic suggestion, a word that you can use to take yourself back into hypnosis wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so. And the only rules are when you take yourself into self-hypnosis is that you state what you want in the positive. That's the only rule. Well, there's 2 rules. Give yourself a time. You would say, I've got 2 minutes. I want my unconscious mind to make this happen for me. And you take yourself into hypnosis. And if you did that for 5 minutes every day, and you've got to believe that you're worth 5 minutes a day to do it, your life will change. If you combine that with when you're going into hypnosis, if you combine that with the feeling of unconditional self-love, your life will change. You can change your physical being, you can change your financial being, you can change your career being, but you know, everything about you. Any of us can change pretty much anything in any 2-year period. I see kids 17, 15 come to see me for hypnosis. And I find it exciting. I say, look, what could you not achieve in the next 5 years? if you really set your mind on it. You can be speaking another 2 languages fluently. You can be playing the guitar like Eric Clapton. It only leaves you at 22. But you don't have to be 17. You just have to say, this I want. I'm lucky enough to be 71 in a couple of weeks. I'm lucky enough, and I say that because so many people do not have that privilege. All those sad folks out in these wars who are never going to reach 17, never mind 70. So I say, yes, it's a privilege. I have 5 grandchildren, not even grandchildren. They're grand adults. My youngest granddaughter is 21 on the 2nd of June. And my oldest granddaughter is 29. And I have 3 grandsons in between those 2 girls. And I can now, I haven't tried it, but I can grow a long white beard and long white hair and wear a scabby old jumper, sit in a rocking chair, smoke a pipe with an old pair of slippers on. Rock myself to death. No one's going to say anything because I'm a granddad. But I'm vain, I admit it. Still want to look good, still want to feel good, still want to make love without passing out, believe it or not. So I'm not going to let myself sit in a chair and rock myself to death and eat food just for the sake of it. I want to be able to sit here and say to you, if you really want to create the body you want, you can do it. And if I was sitting here in a scabby old jumper, 5 stone overweight, there'd be a lack of credibility. I don't have those limits. I know what I do with my body. I know exactly what I can do with my body. I know exactly how to do it. From the neck up, I can't do much about it. From the neck down, I can have the same body I had when I was 28 in boxing, provided I do what I did when I was 28 in boxing. You just got to say, this I want. What do you want? Well, that's time for you to love yourself enough to do that. Treat yourself to it. There's very little you cannot achieve. Think of all the things you've achieved so far in your life. How incredible are you? Just think about things you've achieved so far. How many of you sometimes look back and think about when you were a kid, and if you would have told that kid of all the things you've experienced, they'd have said, you're mad. No way are you going to do all those things. But you've done them. You've got to think, what all in the next 6 months or next 2 years. And it's not even about physical. I'm telling you now, you're already the most beautiful, incredible creation. Your body is already the most beautiful in creation in the planet, in the universe. And you're already a whole being. You don't have to be anyone else. You truly don't. You don't have to conform. Only you know what makes you feel good about yourself. But if you feel into a feeling of unconditional, so I spoke to someone the other day, a client, and they said, there's no one that loves them. I don't have anyone that loves them. I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking to think that is the situation. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what they said. I said, there is no one that loves me. But here's the thing about unconditional self-love. If you have an unconditional self-love, you are never not loved. Think about that. It's impossible to never not be loved if you have that love for yourself. This is a lady who could hardly walk because of her arthritis. And after 30 minutes of getting her to feel into an unconditional self-love and doing some other kind of crazy stuff we do with hypnosis, was a changed woman. We have the power. We just don't know we do. When people see me and they've been smoking for 30 years and they go out of the room and have another cigarette, I don't have any more, I don't need a cigarette. And they say it's a miracle. No. The fact is they could always have quit. They just didn't know they could. Didn't have a big enough why to do it. It's not me putting my fluence down the internet. All of you already have the ability. All I'm doing is explain to you that you can get in touch with that ability. And then be consistent with it and keep wanting it, because people are going to try and put you off it, unfortunately. Not all of it through malice. You have to believe. You have to hold the belief. You don't have to tell anyone what your belief is. You don't have to tell them what your goal is, but you have to hold that belief. Belief, when it's linked to a powerful emotion, creates something beyond ourselves. I'd like all of you to do is put your arm out in front of you like this. Okay, and just look at me in the camera. Think about the person you love most, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your partner, whoever that might be, your child, your cat. But think about that love you feel that love. And as you feel that love, always notice your arms hanging all by itself. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. And when you realize there's nothing you can do about it, I want you to try and get your arm down and find it goes even higher. I do not want you to pretend. Push as hard as you can. Find a hand going up toward the ceiling now. Put some effort in. Harder you try and get it down, higher it's going to go. Look at that hand. Watch it going up. That's right. It's very odd. Push even harder. Find it goes even higher. Are you hypnotized? Are you in a trance? Why can't you get your arm down? I'm going to snap my fingers, going to say the word love, and your hand will drift down. When it touches down, your eyes will close for a split second. You'll realize just how incredible you are and how brilliant you are and how loved you are. Get ready. Love. Feel that arm drifting down. When your eyes open, you have a smile on your face and a totally new understanding of just how incredible you are. Belief, when it's linked to an emotion, you can change your body. When I show my clients that, who have beaten themselves up, they say, I just keep eating cake. You know, I want to lose weight. But I say, you thought that was your hand going out for the cake? This is not. Yeah, it's very odd, isn't it? You know, Kelly, you're kind of new to this, aren't you? To my groups, anyway. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Who are the most important people in your life, Kelly? I'm just going to spotlight you for a moment, if that's okay. You switch your mic on for me. I can't hear you. Is it my sound? Can everyone else hear, Kelly?
I think it's my mute.
I've
How
got it
about now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're new, aren't you? Did you just sign up tonight for my motivation thing?
I joined the ropes workout club a week or so
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
Right, okay. But it's the first time we've met, I think.
Oh, I think so. Yes.
Yeah. Who's the most important people in your life? Who do you love most?
Well, besides you, Freddie. My husband, John.
John?
Yeah.
Okay. Think about John. See his face. Feel that love you feel from him. He feels for you. His strength, his kindness. As you feel that love, Kelly, I want you to notice you're stuck in that chair and you can't stand up. When you realize you're stuck in that chair and you can't stand up, I want you to try and get out of the chair and find you cannot. I do not want you to pretend. Try and stand up and find you cannot, Kelly. Come on, try and get out of the chair for me. Try as hard as you can. Come on, put some effort. You've been standing up all your life. Try and get out of your chair. Come on, push up as hard as you can. Find your stick even tighter. Are you hypnotized? Are you in a trance? Why can't you get out of the chair? Put your hands on the chair and try and push up. Now your hands are stuck to the chair. Try and pull your hands off the chair. Find your hands are stuck as well. Try and get your hands off the chair. It's very odd, isn't it?
Very
It's
odd.
weird. I'm going to snap my fingers and say the word love. You're going to realize you're loved. So you better stand up. Love. That's it. Stand up. Of course you can stand up. All right, look. I know this is, I'm only saying this to you because I'm saying to all of you, because when you're self-suggesting, I would suggest to you, I'm just going to pin you. Nice it is to see you. I'm going to suggest to you that you link that with a powerful feeling. Think about the person you love most. You know, think about how you want to be. That's a good enough, big enough emotional leap. If you can absolutely feel into that future outcome, it's a big enough emotional jolt for you for your brain to link those two things. If you think about any powerful memory of yours, there'll be a big emotional element to it. You probably remember the first moment you held your child in your hand. You'll probably remember the first moment you saw your partner. Those things are linked with that emotion, and that memory is laid down in an instant. So if we want to remember things, we want to learn things, we want to hold on to you know, positive language in our head, then link it. When you state your physical goal to yourself, firstly, state it in the positive. I want to be 9 stone as opposed to I don't want to put on weight. Okay. I want to be whatever it is. You state in a positive. Before you state it, just get a picture of someone you love in your head. And you'll find that that sticks. And then every day, say it to yourself. If you can, spend 30 minutes. I think I might have told you, because I'm mad, I do this weighted hula hoop thing. One day I'll demonstrate it here. But I have 30 minutes on it while I'm watching some stuff on YouTube. Normally some MMA fighting or cage fighting or something. And dream of having a body like those guys. Not battered, you know, but when they step in the ring, not when they step out of the ring. But, you know, and while I'm watching that, I say what I want, and I put stuff on that's kind of, so I can go, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's how I want to feel. That's how I want to look. So I know that's going to be my 30 minutes of self-suggestion. But wherever you do it, you know, if you're doing a ritual every day, say some of you might take, I don't know, you know, I know Bernard spends at least half an hour on his makeup in the morning. You know, you could be doing it then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So whatever it is you're spending 10 minutes or 15 minutes on, think, oh, this is the time to just sit and get into my own head, go into trance and state what you want. I want this to happen. I want to feel like that. Picture it in your mind, because your body will carry it out. You've all had experience of it. You think you're in control of your body until you can't get your arm down, or till you can't get out of the chair. We think we have control over our bodies. But belief, linked with a powerful emotion, is the elixir that enables us to transcend our normal abilities. There are no limits for you. I've met Karen. I know how brilliant she is. Met Kesh. He was with me in Ireland. In fact, he is in Ireland. He's still there, I think. He didn't want to come back. In fact, that's his home, thinking about it. You know, I met Bernard, you know, and Andrew, and, you know, all you know, so many of you. I know what you're capable of. Yasmin, you know, I saw her, her little dog's doing a rope workout by the look of it. She sent me a picture the other day. So it's the best built dog ever. I know what you're
Loves to eat though, so he has to.
Do what? I didn't quite catch that, Yasmin, but yeah, so just think about where you want to go. I'm going to take you to hypnosis, look at this time out and realize, understand that while we're together, you know, you're all that matters to me. I love it when I get message from you that your dog's now working out, or you're achieving what you want to achieve. And share those moments with us, share it with all of us, so we can all get caught up in it. And I would suggest that over these next few weeks, when we're here, in fact, I think what I'm going to do next time we meet is I'm going to put you in a room with somebody and to hold you accountable. So you can text each other and, you know, email each other and say, how are you getting on and where are you at? You know, so hopefully over these next few weeks we work together, you make people that you can be working with. And some of you hypnotherapists, if you are, then reach out to each other. Say, do you want to spend 10 minutes with me? Just get me in the right frame of mind, and I'll do the same for you. Have a skill share. Keep upgrading our brains together. So I'm going to teach you self-hypnosis, but I'm going to teach you something else as well, because I think it's of vital importance that we keep upgrading our brain. It's a thing I developed. I call it the blink and delete. Some of you have heard me do it already. And it's a very simple thing, but if you do it, you're going to keep upgrading your brain. Oh, that's right, Dawn's got it. Again, it's a Freddie theory for what it's worth, but I believe that we are geared to thrive. Given the opportunity, we will thrive. A lot of us don't, you know, I was saying you know, I've got a nice garden. I've just planted some dahlias. Actually, I want to see if I can grow some dahlias. And I planted a load of them. And but it's amazing. You know, you put a seed in the ground, and it looks pretty scabby when you put it in, especially them dahlias for some reason. Very odd looking kind of plant. And then you put it in the right environment and you give it some water. And then when it's young, you make sure it's safe, you know, so it's not in the worst kind of place. So it's not too hot or not too cold, it's not too windy. And then it stands on its own. And it's going to thrive given the right environment. And I believe human beings are the same. A lot of us don't get that environment. But we're only making decisions, the best decisions, always, I think. We're always making what we think is the best decision at that point in time. But we're only making those decisions with the information we have at that time. And when we're 11 and 12, we don't have all the information. And when we're 4 and 5, we have our parents' information. And sometimes they don't have the best information either. But we're going to take that information because, in all intent and purpose, they're the one least uncertain in that situation. We're going to follow them. So here's the blink and delete technique. It's very simple, but it's one of my favorites. When you come up against a block, I can't do this. I'm not any good at it. I'll never achieve it. I'm no good. Any of those inner blocks that come up, you just ask this question: when did I make that decision? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? I promise you, when you ask the question, you won't need 3 years of regression work. You'll immediately go to where you made the decision. The hard part is to think, could that possibly be true? Because you will go there. Many times, because most of the beliefs we walk around with, who we are, what we can, what we cannot achieve, most of those beliefs were created by the time we were 7. That's a pretty sad thought. Stacey, you would not have a girl of 5 making a lifelong decision about what you can or cannot do. Andrew, you would not have a boy of 4 deciding whether you're any good or not. You wouldn't. Yet most of our big beliefs we have about ourselves are created by a child under 7. So very often when we ask the question, when did I make the decision? Where was I? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? Very often you go back to a time before you were 7 and you look at it from where you are now. We're not talking about regressing back to being a 4-year-old again. I'm talking about going back with all the strength you have now as an adult. For some of you, with all the understanding you have now as a parent. And you look at it from where you are and you ask the next question. Now I've evolved, because you have. None of you are the same as you were a week ago, and you're definitely not the same as you were 20 years ago. Now that I've evolved, is that decision any longer viable? Or is it an obsolete decision I made in a less informed state? And if the answer comes back, no, it's no longer viable, you blink twice and you delete that decision. Then you go to neutral, which I'm going to show you how to do. And by neutral, I mean neutral emotion. Make a new decision. In neutral, you can make the right decision. You can take the right action, you get the right outcome. Most of the big decisions we make in our life are made in an emotional state. Most of the really big decisions we made are made in an emotional state. And you are not functioning optimally when you're angry. You are not functioning optimally when you're jealous. And you are definitely not functioning properly when you are madly in love. I say it to my students, I know my son cringes when I say it, but I say never decide to get married when you're madly in love. Do not do it. When you can't wait to jump that person's bones every time you see them. That is not the time to make the decision to get married. You are not thinking straight. Wait until, 3 months in, you're having a cup of tea together, you don't know what to say to each other. If you still want to live your life with that person, make that decision then, not when you're madly in love, because you're not thinking properly. So you ask the question, blink twice, delete that decision, go to neutral, which I'm going to show you how to do today. And that's not I don't care, that's neutral, where you can make a right decision and you make a new decision. This way we can keep upgrading our brains. We don't have to live with decisions we made when we were 7 or 13. I've personally helped over 25,000 people quit smoking. And that's not my World Quit Smoking, my free worldquitsmoking.com, where anyone can go on there and download the pamphlet, download the audio, and only when they quit, they can donate to save the children. And it's in over 30 languages. You can go on my website, you can download it for free. Well, in fact, go there, worldquitsmoking.com. If you want to learn my methods of quitting smoking, it's free. But if you're going to go there, I would suggest you invest $5 in some kid who's starving. But personally, face to face in the same room, I've seen over 25,000 people for smoking. And I can count on maybe 3 or 4 hands the amount of those people that started smoking as an adult. By that, I mean their 20s or 30s. And the majority of them started smoking joints and went on to cigarettes. Everyone else was kids. I was 11, my brother was 9. I've seen kids who started smoking when they were 7. Their granddad gave them a puff. Thought it was a cool thing to do. But all of those people, they weren't adults. But then when you're 13 and you look around, you see your dad smoking and your mum smoking, you think that's an adult thing to do. And you make a decision at 13. And you look back at 30 and realise it was a crappy decision. It's too late. What I'm saying to you is we don't have to live with those decisions. We can look at every decision we've ever made on the basis of, is that any longer viable? And if not, blink twice, delete it. When we ask the first question, how old was I, where was I, who was I with, was it even my decision? You'll find very often that the beliefs you have about yourself was someone else's opinion. We don't have to live with someone else's opinion any longer. Seriously, you can keep upgrading. You do this while you're on the bus, while you're driving down the road. Whenever that voice comes into your head, that's now over the last few years been called the imposter monster. When that voice goes off in your head, just go, when did I make that decision? You want to immediately go there. Upgrade. Think about all of us here, we're going to upgrade our brains. I can't even imagine Elizabeth a more upgraded brain. That is a scary thought, Elizabeth. But we can keep upgrading. So those few things we're going to do today, and over these, as we work together, and that's the whole point of this rope workout club. It's not just about getting super hench. It's about tapping into all those things we want. You know, how can we be as happy as we want to be? How can we be as well as we want to be? How can we live our truth? How can we let go of all of those, all the stuff that's been placed on us that was never true in the first place? Right, so you're all ready to upgrade your brain. You're all ready to tap into this. Yep. Look at Lynn. She can't wait to go in. Look, she's a hypno junkie. She's even got a hypno chair. She's sitting there. Look, unbelievable. So look, get yourselves comfortable. Make sure you're safe. Okay. Remember, while we're together, you're all that matters to me. I want you to be happy. I want you to be well. I want you to achieve what you want to achieve. And you don't have to have anyone else's goal. You all know what you want, and it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, I'll say it again before you go in. You're already the most beautiful and creation in this universe. Not you so much, Kesh, but everyone else. I didn't mean that.
We spent too much time together over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you know, it's all that Guinness you gave me. It's not right. So look, get into this with me. Look at this timeout, and let's upgrade. Okay. And from today, you're going to be able to tap into this power anywhere, in any place, anytime. Nice to see you, Jane. Met Jane as well over the weekend. So yeah, okay, get into this with me. Get comfortable. Good night, Med. I tell you, take your liberties, you lot. Right. If you can, place your hands and your feet separately. That would be good. And when you're ready to do this, just take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment. As you breathe out, allow your eyes to close, but only as quickly as you're ready to make these changes. To upgrade your brain, let go of any limitations. Tap into your absolute truth. That's right. And for a moment, just focus on your body, and if you can sense any tension, let it go. Start with those muscles around your eyes and allow your eyes to relax. That's right. Imagine having your temples massaged and your muscles in your eyes are relaxing so completely, they just won't work for a while. Get a sense of that happening as you listen to my voice. Those muscles are relaxing so completely, they just won't work. Just for a while. Nobody wants anything. No one expects anything. There is nothing for you to do but to relax those muscles. Imagine it's happening automatically. For a moment, allow yourself the pleasure of thinking about the people you love, people that love you. Think about the people you've helped with the skills you have. People who are living their life differently now because of your words, your kindness. Just think about those people. And as you feel into that feeling of love, your eyes have relaxed so completely now, they just won't work for a while. And when you realize they're so relaxed, they just won't work, you can test them, find it completely locked. Just for a while. That's right. Nothing bothers or affects you, nothing disturbs you. All that matters now is you and the sound of my voice and the ability to tap into all of your inner strengths and abilities. I'm going to say the word love, and as you hear that word, that feeling of relaxation around your eyes is going to go right down through your body like a bliss anesthesia. But no matter how relaxed your body and mind become, that chair, that bed, that seat will support you. Get ready. As you hear that word, allow yourself that wonderful feeling. A feeling of unconditional self-love flooding down through your body now. Love. Be it spreading to every cell, every fiber. Every muscle, nerve and fiber relaxing like a handful of rubber bands just thrown on that chair, loose and relaxed. And I'm going to count down from 10. And every number down, your body is going to enter a state of total bliss. With every number down, that understanding, you're already a whole being. You're already the most incredible creation. It's going to grow stronger as your body relaxes even more. But at the same time as counting down from 10, I'll be counting up from 1. And with every number up, your mind will become stronger and clearer and more focused on what you want, how you want to feel, how you want to look, how you want to be. And at some point as I'm counting, your mind will separate from your body for a while. It will be the most incredible feeling of liberation and freedom. Every number down, your body enters that understanding, just how incredible you are physically. Every number up, your mind becomes stronger and clearer, and you'll realize that the essence of who you are is infinite and has no edge. 10. Body relaxing, every muscle, nerve and fiber. Get a sense of it happening automatically. 1, the mind is stronger and clearer, more focused on what you want. You know exactly how you want to be. 9, the body just drifts deeper, deeper down into that space. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that. Every word I say doubles that wonderful feeling. 2, every negative word or thought that was ever placed on you throughout your life is swept from your mind. Get a sense of tsunami of spring water washing through your mind, washing away every block that has ever held you back, that ever got in your way. See those blocks disintegrating, being washed from your mind, every negative thought washed from your mind. 8, the body goes deeper, deeper down now, just drifting down through space and time. 3, every limiting belief that was ever placed on you, that was never yours, is swept from your mind. Feel that feeling of freedom as that happens. Get a sense of it now. The harder you try and remember what those limitations were, the further away they go. Swept through your mind. 7, the body just goes deeper, deeper down into that state of total bliss. Less and less aware of your physical being. 4, the mind begins to separate from the body. Nice, wonderful feeling of liberation. Get a sense of drifting up out through the top of your head, leaving your body in that chair. Go out there into the future. See yourself having achieved what you want. Let go of every limiting belief. See yourself achieving what you want, whether it's a physical goal, career goal, financial goal, emotional goal, happiness goal, but see yourself doing it. Let go of every limitation. And notice the way you move and the way you breathe. Step into that future self. Feel into it. Get a sense of it now. And ask this question: how much fun is it? How much fun can you make it? How important is it for you? Get a feeling of that now. Because now you know how good you're going to feel. Everything about your nature, your mind and your body is inclined toward making it happen. Your unconscious mind wants you to feel that good. The mind drifts without boundaries, without borders. And understanding the essence of who you are is pure light and joy and love. Feel into it. The essence of who you are is exactly the same as it was when you were a month old, when all you wanted was to be held and loved and fed. And the essence of who you are is that pure light and joy and love. Feel into that. 5, the body just drifts through time and space. You have no idea where your body is in time and space. An understanding that you are not your body. That whatever you thought you were, you are so much more than that. As I continue to count down from 5, every number doubles that wonderful feeling. 4, 3, going even deeper now. 2, 1, 0, and now you're in that space. Just you and the sound of my voice and a feeling of freedom. Feel into that now. As you drift in that space, my voice, my words going to drift with you. To become a part of your experience now. Every word I say takes you even deeper, and everything I say now is your reality. Every suggestion I give you, your mind and body will act upon at a molecular, cellular, neurological level. Now your reality. You have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, that instinctive, intuitive part of your being, the part of you that's been there, taking care of you, your blood pressure, your heartbeat, your body temperature, that's been looking out for you, can continue to hear and understand and respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Get a sense now, just drifting away from your body, the essence of who you are. Now, some cultures call it the spirit, the soul. I call it the essence, the intangible part of a human being, the passenger, the observer in that physical body. And as you drift away from your body in that chair, I want you to look back at that body and just for a moment, show it some appreciation. How incredible are you? You are the most incredible creation in this universe. You are unique. In the history of mankind, there have been 100 billion people on planet Earth. But there's only ever been one of you. You are unique. There will only ever be one of you. Show that body some appreciation. Now it's okay to love that body. Treat it to the best food. Treat it to the best hydration. Treat it to the exercise it needs so it can serve you for as long as, but recognize it is not you. And when you sit down, when there's food, change the words, I am eating, to I am feeding this incredible body. And feed that body what serves you. As you drift even further away, get a sense of drifting up out of that building you're in. Drifting up into the sky like a helium balloon that some young child's let go of. Just drifting higher and higher, drifting so high now. You can look back at this incredible planet we live on. Get a sense of that beautiful blue planet just spinning through space. The whites of the clouds, the whites of the mountaintops, the blues of the ocean, the greens of the forests. Get a sense of that planet spinning through space. And notice how your perspective changes. Things that had seemed overwhelming no longer have any power over you. Things that had seemed hard or difficult to overcome no longer have any power over you. Now, in your mind's eye, get a sense of the target, like an archery target. Coloured bands, get the very centre of the bullseye. Or get a sense of a spinning vortex of light. The most incredible light. And see the centre. In the centre is a feeling of unconditional self-love. The most intense, incredible experience of unconditional self-love. In a moment, I'm going to make this sound. As I make that sound, you're going to be fired, shot like an arrow, straight through the center into a space of unconditional self-love. And I want you to know it's okay to feel that good. It's okay to feel that feeling of love. Get ready. As I make that sound, as you go through that target, through that spinning vortex of light, into that space of unconditional self-love, your mind and body are going to be flooded with the most intense feeling of unconditional self-love. Get ready. Now you're in that space. Just you, the sound of my voice, and a feeling of unconditional self-love. Feel that feeling growing, spreading through your body into every cell, into every fiber, lighting you up, lifting you up. Feel it. Feel your heart expanding with that feeling of unconditional self-love, and notice your heart cannot contain it. Feel it spreading through your body, and notice as your body's flooded with that feeling, that every ounce of doubt, every irrational fear has gone from your body and mind, because it cannot coexist in your body and mind with that feeling of unconditional self-love. And that feeling's going to grow stronger day by day as you realize that you are worthy of that love, that your body is already the most incredible, beautiful creation. You're already a whole being. Get a sense of that now. And as you drift in that space, from today, whenever you want to use your unconscious mind to achieve anything, physical goals, career goals, spiritual goals, emotional goals, you just repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind, and you will instantly return to this deep state of hypnosis you're in now. From today, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, you repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind, and you will instantly return to this deep state of hypnosis where you have access to all your inner powers, strengths, and abilities. From today, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, you repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind, and you will instantly go back into this deep trance you're in now. And so as you drift in that space, my voice drifts with you. As you feel into that feeling of unconditional self-love, feel into that now. How incredible are you? I'd like to have that pleasure once again of going out into the future to a point where you've created that life you want, created the body and the health you want. Step into that body, feel into it, get a sense of it, and ask the question again, how much fun is this? How much fun can I make it? How important is it for me? Because now you know how good you're going to feel. Now you've attached it to that feeling of unconditional self-love. Your mind and body and everything about your nature is inclined toward making it happen. And you'll find yourself moving towards it without thinking. The need to overeat, comfort eat, boredom eat has gone from your body. Why would you do that to someone you love? The need to criticize yourself and beat yourself up over every little mistake has gone from your mind and body. Why would you do that to someone you love? From today, you'll take care of yourself. You'll be kind to yourself. You'll feed that body what serves you, so you can enjoy your life even more, so you can be as well as you can be, and you can inspire and teach others how to do it. So as you drift in that space, my voice drifts with you. From today, whenever you want to tap into your inner powers, wherever it's safe and appropriate to do so, you repeat the word relax 4 times in your mind. You'll instantly go back to this place of profound hypnosis and trance. You will state what you want in the positive, and you'll find yourself working towards it without even thinking. So it's your privilege. Use this experience. Think about those things you can do, the strengths, the abilities, the skills, the love you may have overlooked before, that will allow you a clear view of the possibilities of a new way of living, a new way of being. Take that time now, a brief time that seems to be a long time. Review, plan at some level of awareness the things you're going to do later on, the things you're going to change later on as you begin to use more and more of you. You are love, you are loved, and you are loving. The essence of who you are is pure light and joy. Feel into that now. Get a sense of that now. Part of and apart from everything in this universe. How incredible are you? Go with your unconscious often as you need to know that you're free. Free to be you. And know that you are already good enough. Only when your unconscious mind knows and has made those changes at a molecular, cellular, neurological level, and at a belief, a faith level, and allows the conscious mind to accept the changes made. Because in a moment, I'm going to count to 10, and every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon. On 8, your eyes will open. You will feel incredible because you are incredible. And on 10, that feeling of unconditional self-love, that inner belief and steely determination to create the life you want by helping others create the life they want, it's going to grow stronger day by day. So get ready. As I count to 10, on 8, your eyes will open. You'll feel as if you had the blinkers removed. You will see things differently. You experience life differently on a different level. And on 10, that wonderful feeling of freedom and empowerment and unconditional self-love is going to grow stronger day by day. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful. 2, to create that life, create the body, create the health, create the happiness you want. 3, a feeling of freedom from every limiting belief that was ever placed on you. 4, feel the force of that energy and love, that inner belief flooding through your body and mind. 5, feel incredibly alive. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible now. 9, 10. We'll just wait for Jet to come back. No leans out of it. See no leans, right, laughing. The worst hypnotic subject she thought she was. Now look at her. Proper hypno junkie now. Look, I hope you enjoyed the evening. Understand you're worth doing this for. Let go of any limitations we're placed on you. We don't have to have them. You know, and just think about how you want to be. We may come back many times. We don't know. I'm going to live this one as if it's the only one. That's my attitude toward it. I want to live it as well as I can live it. I know you do. And it's not difficult. It's really not difficult. It's just about making a decision, knowing you're worth doing it for, believing that it's worth doing it for. Let no one knock you off your path. Let's see what we can do together. All right. Hope you enjoyed it, Kelly. Good. And I'm gonna have to get one of those chairs, Lynn. That looks pretty cool to me. I'm not sure whether who was it that was out of it a moment ago. It's on his bed. I don't know where he came round, but I'm sure he's on the bed. He looks pretty safe. Can't see him now. He will come out of it at some point in the future. Probably, you know, at least half a stone lighter. So, you know, he might want to lose a bit of weight. I think we have to wake Jet up though. That's the only thing. So switch your mics on a count of 3. We're just going to shout a name out, just frighten the life out of them. Ready? On a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Jet!
Jet.
Jet! Jetta! We're going to get her back. I'll tell you what, let's do this before we before we go tonight. I want you all just to take yourselves back into hypnosis. Now, when we do this, I'm going to tell you what the rules, okay? When you do this for yourself at home, you give yourself a time and you state what you want in the positive. So I want to be happy as opposed to I don't want to be unhappy. You know, I want to be fit and well, I suppose. I don't want to be ill. So you state what you want in the positive, give yourself a time, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. But if when I say to you, we're going to come back out, all you're going to do is count to 5. So let's say you've said, I'm going to have 5 minutes in trance, and then the phone rings, or you remember you've got to pick the kids up or something. You can just count to 5 and bring yourself back out. Okay. Have you all got the rules?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this then. Yeah, Andrew, do you want to say something?
No, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're going to say, you know, silent to yourself. You don't have to shout it out. Okay. So when we want to go back in, and before you do this, just think of something you want to achieve. Because when you're in it, I'm going to ask you just once again, just feel into that outcome and then give the suggestion. I want my unconscious mind to make this happen for me. Okay. You're going to do it silently. Otherwise, it's going to be chaos. Right. So when you're ready, just just repeat the word relax. Just 4 times in your mind. Silence yourself. Relax. 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 Feel yourself going all the way back into that space. Think about what you want to achieve. See yourself achieving it. Ask your unconscious mind to make it happen. Be careful what you wish for. This is a superpower, and now you have access to it. And now when you do this for yourself at home, you give yourself a time. If you want to come out of it rapidly, you just count from 1 to 5. So when you're ready to come back up, ready to create that life you want, free of every limitation, just in your own mind, count from 1 to 5. And on 5, your eyes will open. You have a smile on your face. It's going to be here all day. And a totally new understanding of just how incredible you are. Excellent. Now you have it. Use it. Okay. The more you use it, the better you're going to get at it. Oh, I forgot. Anita can't count to 5. Oh, sorry, Anita. I thought you were stuck there because I wasn't sure you could get to 5 or not. You do have to be able to count to 5 to bring yourself out. That's the only thing. Nolene's still in. 5 is the one that comes after 4, Nolene. You'll get there, honestly. Right, look, it's been great. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sure Jetta will come out of it at some point in the future, and she'll feel great when she does. Med, I think, are you awake, Ned? Med, give us a wave if you have. Yeah, good. Okay. Right, good. All right, look, I'll see you next week. Keep up with the rope workout. You can create that life you want. You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of pounds at the gym. You can if you want. Or you can buy a piece of rope, buy my book for next to nothing and learn how to do it. And with that book, as I said, you can get it on Amazon, comes with 10 audios. It's got my voice on it, unfortunately. Three breath meditations and a video on 6-6 breathing. So only you know how badly you want this. You know what you need to do. I know all you're going to do it. I know you are. Great to see you all, and I'll see you all again soon, right? Take care.
Thanks, Freddie.
Great to see you.
Thanks, Freddie. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Good to see you, Laura. Take care. See you soon.
Bye.
See you, Nolene.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks. Good to see you, Lynn. Take care now. Bye.